We'll just probably wait for another 1 minute so that YouTube notifies people to join, and then I'll kick it off from there. All right, let's get started. 7:07, let's get started. Welcome everybody. This is something new and different that we've done in SAT. Um, Varghese Alexander has been our scriptwriter for SAT for several years, and he has gone on to write so many other plays outside of SAT as well. And he's also published his first play, and it's available on Amazon. I'll let Alex talk about it when he comes on. But we went through this 5 weeks of script writing workshop, and today we are going to present short plays written by many of our budding script writers. And I want you guys to take a listen and tell us what you thought. So the way it's going to go is we have 5 short plays that we're going to read. It's a table read, and after every play I'm going to have like a 5-minute Q&A, and we can discuss about what you thought about that play. Before that, I'm just going to bring on Alex. Alex, do you want to talk a little bit about what the process was? And it was the first time for you to lead a writing workshop, and how did that feel? And what are you doing? What are your current projects and all that cool details?
Thanks a lot, Divya. It was a great opportunity to actually conduct a workshop. We started this idea with just having a 2-hour workshop or something like that, but it evolved to having a much more in-depth workshop than just handling the basics. What we have done over the weeks is, as and when we learn concepts, our participants started writing their own script and implemented those concepts into their play. What you're going to read, what you're going to hear being read here, is basically just 3 to 4 weeks of work and ideas. So this is not a finished version of any play by any means. In fact, you all are getting to see even a version before the first draft is out. So even as an audience member, you get to see how plays evolve, and this is how plays evolve, by starting with a draft like this and then building upon it. So your feedback will really help the writers to build upon this play and make this a full-fledged play. Also, due to time restrictions, we have capped this to around 10 minutes. Many of these plays have potential to be written much bigger in a much bigger setting. So the eventual end result of these plays might be a full 60 minutes play or 90 minutes play. But right now we are looking at a very small excerpt of it. The third thing that I want to say is that we have no restrictions on the topic or anything like that. So this is totally cool to see how each of these writers took their own different topics and aspects that they are passionate about to tell a story around that. So I can't wait for all of you to hear it and provide the feedback so that our writers can get even better from this experience. Thanks, Divya.
Awesome. That's amazing. I want to go ahead and start with our first play. Let me just give me 1 second. Here we go. So I want to introduce the first play. This was written by Diksha Sri Shaila, and the play is titled Playing Against the Odds. And the characters and performers are Lakshmi is playing the role of Ramya, Madhu is playing the role of Jagga, Gautam is playing the role of Viraj, Madeline is playing the role of Coach, Harini is playing the role of scorekeeper, and Alex reading the stage directions. Over to you guys.
Okay, playing against the odds by Diksha. The play synopsis. In this case, the play is not the entire play. As I said earlier, this is a part of the play. So this play synopsis will tell you what the whole play is about before we start getting into the scene. Play synopsis. Ramya Rao is a teenage badminton player who has been trying to compete despite a diagnosis of relapsing, remitting multiple sclerosis. The story is intended to be about how she fights against the symptoms, social pressures, and her own mental blocks in maintaining an athletic record. This is one of the last few scenes of the play. Scene description. A badminton match is in progress between Ramya Rao of Florence High School and Sonia Sood from Garden High School. The scoreboard shows a tie of 19 points. Spotlight is on Ramya. We don't see Sonia on stage. Characters Ramya, Viraj, that is Sonia's brother, Jaga, Crook hired by Viraj, Coach, and scorekeepers that are both are offstage voices.
Oh no, there's that tingling sensation again. I'm going to go limp waist down and fall right here and make a fool of myself like 3 weeks ago.
Steady strokes, Ramya. Keep at it.
Point for Sonia.
Spotlight shifts to two men standing on the sidelines.
Oi, Jaga, why is this girl still on her feet? Still on mute, actually.
Madhu, you're on mute.
About time she goes down now. By the undetectable adhesive spots I installed to her shoes would make it hard for her to run much. When I used these at the other games last week, they called timeout 2 minutes into the match and the player eventually lost.
Abe Kamine, are you sure you attached them to the correct shoes? She should have gone down much before reaching 19 points if they were that good.
Yes, those orange striped shoes that she is wearing, there were no others when I went into the break room to steal them.
I paid you a fat sum for this. If Sonia does not win this game, you will receive the thrashing of your life.
Spotlight shifts to Ramya.
But Coach and Abba have supported me so much.
Points for Ramya.
Spotlight shifts back to the two men.
This girl has some unusual strength. By I'm not so sure anymore.
Shut up or you're going to jinx it.
Oh dear, my legs feel heavy. This is probably it. The doctor said I shouldn't risk it. I should have probably listened to him.
Scorekeeper whistles.
No, I have to win this game. The Badminton Association really does not want me to represent the state because I have multiple sclerosis. But they gave me this one chance to prove myself.
Points for Ramya. 21-19. Game over.
Audience cheer and end of scene. Divya, back to you. This is the end of this scene.
Good job, everybody. That was amazing. All right. Do we have any thoughts, questions on the story we heard? We have Narsi and Aaron join on Zoom. So let's see if any of them have any thoughts.
Well, this is Narsimha. By the way, yeah, of course, the presentation was pretty good. They almost kind of tried to, all the readers kind of gave some kind of involvement of character while reading. It was just not a play read. It wasn't like just like a play read, but I could sense some trying to show some character involvement. But from an overall play standpoint, again, it's it's my totally individual opinion. It's kind of too less to provide any, at least in other place, I was also attending the workshop, but because of the time commitment, I could not present mine. From an overall, from this one in the beginning also had not heard, so it was too less of an play read to provide any feedback on the play. But from a presentation point, Divya, you are as usual awesome, and all the play readers were awesome. Great presentation.
Thank you. I think we don't have Diksha who wrote this play here today. So probably, Erin, if you have any thoughts, you can share.
I did have a few questions, but if she's not here, I don't know if I'll be able to get answers. I'll just be left wondering. But I think I don't know if I missed part of it when I was listening, but I didn't fully understand what the guys were trying to do to Ramya. I understood it was something with the shoe, but I didn't quite understand. I didn't know if it was implying that like the feelings she was experiencing were not actually symptoms of her own condition, or if it was supposed to be that she was suffering from the shoes. And I wasn't sure like if the story was going to be about her struggling with her condition and people's expectations, or if it was like going to actually have like a villain that she was trying to like outsmart or outwit or outstand as well. But it was really interesting, and I love that it was like going straight to the end of the scene, because I feel like that gives a really good feel and a lot of strength to a story to know where you're trying to take it. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, Erin, Diksha is not here, but we did talk about some of this different conflicts during the workshop, so I can share a little bit about that. Is that
yes,
Diksha
please.
was trying to, throughout the story, she's trying to show the different challenges Ramya has to face as a person with MS, as well as someone who is trying to get to represent the state and the country. So MS is just one of the things that she's dealing with. On top of it, she's also dealing with other forces. So throughout the play, these characters come up in different shapes and forms. So in this scene, I think we haven't talked specifically about this scene. I think it's a little bit of both that she's feeling. She's questioning mentally. She's questioning herself, while there are also external folks who are trying to take her down. So
yeah, just as more comments from a technical standpoint, Alex, I could definitely sense that she has tried to create a couple of conflicts there, and straight away I could see it is passing on to resolution. I could sense that because of having attended to the workshop, but from if you see it from a totally audience standpoint, definitely needed more information to come to some kind of an solid feedback.
Okay, I think that there's another comment on YouTube. Amanda says, so does she even actually have a diagnosis and people are just sabotaging her? That's clever and dark. So that's pretty cool. I think we can move on to our next story. And the next story is called The Right Reasons, and it's written by Madeline Christensen. And the characters are Harini is playing the role of Jenna, Alex is playing Ivan, Madhu is playing Chris, Gautam is playing Dimitri, and Lakshmi is giving stage directions. Over to you guys.
And Lakshmi also has a new character named Galina that has a few lines towards the end. So
perfect.
The Right Reasons. Playwright Madeline Christensen. Characters: Jenna, a young woman who is the star of a reality dating show. Chris, the host of the show. Ivan, Jenna's fiancé from the show. Dimitri, Ivan's friend and associate. Galina, a higher up in the Russian intelligence network. Scene 1, the proposal. Host, a fit 50-something silver fox in a suit, stands at the front of the stage, spotlight from above.
Good evening, Bachelor Nation, and welcome to the season finale of The Bachelorette. Week after week, you've tuned in to watch Jenna's journey to find love. There has been heartbreak, there has been betrayal, there have been tears, and a lot of wine. But tonight, Jenna's journey comes to an end. Where she started off the season with 30 eligible men, now the field has winnowed down to 2, and they couldn't be more different. Will she choose Miguel, the charismatic personal trainer from Miami, or Ivan, the mild mannered computer programmer from Silicon Valley? We'll find out together in the emotional finale tonight.
Lighting comes up to an idyllic scene on a beach with Jenna, an attractive 20-something woman looking elegant in a long, sparkly gown and heels. Ivan, a skinny, average-looking 30-something man in a suit, walks onto the stage looking nervous. Ivan reaches Jenna and holds her hand in his. He speaks in a slight Russian accent.
I think you're muted, Ivan.
Thank you. Jenna, ever since I came out of the limo that first night at the mansion, I knew you were the one. Before I met you, I had a very hard time trusting people. I never let anyone know my true self. But you have taught me to open my heart in a way I never thought was possible. I love you, Jenna. And I hope I can tell you that every day.
Ivan, after getting my heart broken on Matthew's season, I wasn't sure if I could ever love again. But you showed me a love I never knew existed. You're so sweet and kind of darky, but in a good way. And you were the only contestant without an Instagram, which was a little different but also refreshing. At first, I could tell you were holding something back, but week after week, you've taken me by surprise. I I love you too, Ivan, and I'm ready for the rest of our life to start.
Oh, Jenna drops to one knee, gets out a box, and opens it to reveal an enormous diamond ring. Will you marry me?
Of course.
Ivan and Jenna embrace as the music swells. Host returns to the scene.
What a phenomenal ride! Congratulations to Jenna and Ivan on their engagement. Finding love is what the show is all about. And as a special treat to these two lovebirds, we are sending them on an all expenses paid vacation to the Bahamas, sponsored by Marriott. Good night, Bachelor Nation, and we will see you this summer for Bachelor in Paradise.
Scene 2, Vacation. Scene changes to a luxurious hotel room with colorful furnishings. Jenna and Ivan come in dressed in shorts and colorful shirts.
Jenna tosses bag on bed, takes off shoes. What a day. First the scuba diving, then hiking up that volcano, then dinner on the beach. I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted.
Ivan takes a towel out of his bag and shakes it out. It was a magical day, Buttercup. If this is what the rest of our life together will be like, I cannot wait for it to start.
Jenna begins to remove earrings. Well, I'm not sure we can keep up this lifestyle when we get back to LA. But it'll be nice to get back to the real world. I'm excited for you to meet my friends.
Ivan folds towel over a chair, and I'm looking forward to showing you around San Francisco and convincing you that it is superior to LA in every way.
Well, we'll see about that. Ivan, now that we are engaged, there's something I have to tell you. I don't want us to start our life together with secrets between us.
What is it, Buttercup? I'm sure that whatever it is, we can surmount it together.
That's sweet of you, Ivan. The truth is, I had a boyfriend when I came on the show for Matthew's season. I just went on the show to get my modeling career off the ground. I didn't expect to actually fall in love. It just kind of happened. Anyway, my boyfriend and I broke up after I got home. Obviously, if word got out that I broke the rules, my reputation would be ruined and all my fans would feel betrayed. I wish I could take it all back. I feel like all of this is a lie. I don't deserve to be here with you, Ivan. I may have lied to the rest of the world, but you deserve to know the truth.
If you had taken it all back, we would have never found each other. And that would have been a greater tragedy. Do not worry, Jenna, your secret is safe with me.
Really? You don't mind that I basically cheated on my boyfriend in front of millions of viewers?
Sometimes life happens in unexpected ways. It is the past now. Now, we should look forward to our future together.
Ivan, I didn't think I could love you anymore. I definitely didn't think I'd find a man like you on a reality show. But I guess you keep proving me wrong.
You have a gentle heart, Buttercup. I also have something to tell you.
Oh, what is it?
It is difficult for me to say. You must promise that you will not tell anyone, even if it makes you change your mind about our engagement.
Ivan, nothing you can say will change my mind. We both have pasts as long as you didn't murder anyone.
No, my dear, not murder. I am a spy for the Russians. Mostly, I pass on technological secrets from my job at FlipTweet. Sometimes I'm called upon for other missions.
You're joking, right?
I'm afraid not, Buttercup.
What? You're serious?
I would not kid about this kind of matter. I expected that you would be outraged, but I could not keep something like this from the love of my life.
What the hell is a Russian spy doing on a reality TV show?
Promoting Russian culture to the Americans? Was our hometown date in St. Petersburg not magical?
Oh my god.
An executive in the network has been receiving quite a large sum of money in order to cultivate friendship between our two countries. I could never have gotten on the show from my looks alone. I was the only contestant without six-pack abs. Did that not make you suspicious?
That you were literally a spy? No, Ivan, I didn't connect the dots on that one. I'm finding it ironic that we are having our most dramatic conversation ever after the camera stopped rolling.
Do not worry. I've made sure there are no cameras in this room. I even checked the lampshades for.
Oh my god, Ivan, would you please shut up for 2 seconds?
I understand how you would be alarmed, but really, it's just a job to me. Let's not let politics get in the way of our love.
It's not politics, Ivan, it's treason.
I understand. The situation is delicate.
So I suppose now that you've told me you're going to have to kill me?
I was not supposed to tell anyone, it is true, but I have no intention of eliminating you. You are the woman I want to marry. I believe we can overcome this challenge.
Really? Because I'm having my doubts.
Remember our date in Costa Rica, paragliding through the rainforest? When I told you I loved you and you told me you loved me too? Let us not forget those magical memories.
But that was before I knew you were a spy.
Obviously, I was not at liberty to reveal my identity.
Jenna raises her ring. I'm just saying, Ivan, you could have told me about this before I had a rock the size of a golf ball on my finger.
The ring was a bit large for my taste also, but they did not give me many alternatives.
Well, what about your spy protocol? Are you even supposed to get engaged to an American?
I went a bit off script. It might ruffle a few feathers, but I'm sure that our love will prevail in the end.
Well, that sounds wildly optimistic to me.
Buttercup, tell me what you want. If you want me to leave tonight, I will do so.
I think I need some time to think this over, Ivan. I can't give you an answer tonight, but I don't want you to end up in prison either. I'll keep your secret if you keep mine, and if you don't murder anyone.
I understand, Buttercup, and I will not be murdering anyone. Do not worry. If it's all the same to you, I would like to take it one day at a time.
One day at a time. Right.
Dimitri, my associate and friend, is eager to meet you. Let's have him over for dinner when we return to LA. We will all get to know each other. Soon we will look back at all this unpleasantness and laugh. You will see.
Scene 3, dinner party. The scene is in Ivan and Jenna's apartment. On one side is a living room, on the other a kitchen. Ivan is putting a tray of popovers in the oven while Jenna arranges some appetizers.
I gotta say, your culinary talents are a pleasant surprise.
Well, the crew made all of our meals on the show. Otherwise, I would have made you a lovely dinner for one of our dates. To tell the truth, living alone as a bachelor spy can get lonely sometimes. Now that we are together, I'm looking forward to more domestic pursuits.
Like popovers?
And herb stuffed chicken with a lovely green salad and an assortment of roasted vegetables.
Well, just so you know, I'm expecting this every night.
The doorbell rings.
That must be Dimitri.
Ivan gets the door and welcomes Dimitri, another 30-something man.
Dimitri, my friend.
Ivan and Dimitri embrace.
Ivan, it's good to see you. You got a tan, I see.
Well, it's more of a sunburn. Hey, I know you weren't too thrilled when we spoke on the phone, but I hope...
It's water under the bridge, my friend.
Jenna comes up behind Ivan.
And this must be your beautiful fiancé.
It's so nice to finally meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
I watched the entire season. I feel as if I know you already.
Well, let's not stand in the doorway. Come, sit down.
The three sit in the living room. Dimitri sits in an armchair while Ivan and Jenna sit on the couch.
So, how's life now in the real world?
Ivan puts his hand over Jenna's. To tell the truth, we couldn't be happier. Jenna and Ivan lock eyes. I didn't think it could get any better after the show, but every day with Jenna is another wonderful adventure. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me. We are even talking about having kids in a couple of years.
Dimitri shifts in his seat, appearing uncomfortable.
That's so beautiful. Say, I think I left my car lights on.
Jenna looks out the window. I don't see...
They are very dim. I've been meaning to replace them. I'll be right back.
Dimitri rushes out the door as Jenna and Ivan shrug. Dimitri takes out his phone, walking a little ways away from the door. He puts the phone to his ear.
Boss, I can't go through with this.
A woman's sharp tone answers. Agent 521, I do not recall asking you whether you would like to take this job. What I recall is telling you that you will carry out this mission without complaint.
But boss, I can't shoot my best friend.
I do not wish to hear your excuses. If you fail, you will be immediately discharged from your service in a very permanent manner.
Please, boss.
Agent 521, you are wasting my time. Do not call me again until you have completed the mission. Dimitri looks at his phone as Galina ends the call. Dimitri returns to the living room looking shaken.
So sorry about that. So, you live here together now?
Well, I still have to drive back to San Francisco occasionally for some meetings at FlipTweet, but I've mostly gone remote. We just picked out these curtains last weekend.
Dimitri begins tearing up.
Dimitri, are you okay?
Dimitri takes out a handkerchief and wipes his eyes. Yes, of course. It's so beautiful to see you this happy. And I just want you to know that whatever happens, I will never forget our friendship.
Hey, we aren't going anywhere, but I'm glad you approve of our relationship.
What? Of course, my friend. It's just that I know you'll get busy with married life.
Well, you're welcome to come over anytime. Maybe Jenna has some single friends she can introduce you to. A kitchen timer dings. Those are the popovers.
Ivan walks into the kitchen.
I should go and help.
Dimitri follows Ivan towards the kitchen. Jenna starts to get up.
Oh no, you are the guest.
No, I insist. I'll be back in just a moment.
Ivan is taking the popovers out of the oven when Dimitri walks into the kitchen. Dimitri draws a handgun, pointing it shakily at Ivan. He has a clear shot, but he cannot bring himself to pull the trigger. Ivan turns with the popover tray in hand and freezes when he sees Dimitri with his gun drawn.
Hey, man, you don't have to do this.
Believe me, my friend, this will hurt me more than it will hurt you. But I have no choice.
There is always a choice.
No, you imbecile. What the hell did you think was going to happen? That you could go from our line of work to picking out window dressings with your American girlfriend?
Okay, calm down, put down the gun, and let's have a talk.
Jenna walks into the room.
What's going on?
Ivan and Dimitri both look at Jenna.
Does she know?
What? No, she doesn't know anything.
Doesn't matter. Neither of you are leaving here tonight.
Dimitri raises the gun to shoot Ivan. Jenna lunges at him. Dimitri shoots and misses. Ivan tackles Dimitri and the gun slides across the floor. Dimitri ends on the top and delivers successive punches to Ivan. Jenna picks up the gun and stares at it, bewildered, for a moment, as if asking herself if she's capable of shooting someone. At last, she raises the gun and shoots Dimitri. Dimitri falls to the ground. Jenna and Ivan stare silently at Dimitri in shock.
Oh shit, is he?
Jenna?
Did I just... It all happened so fast.
No, this isn't your fault. I'll take the blame for this. You can tell them you didn't know anything about this.
No, Ivan, this is probably your fault. But I guess we are in this together now.
I should have seen this coming. I suppose I allowed my love for you to blind me to reality, and now I've endangered you as well. I just didn't expect Dimitri to...
Well, there's not a lot we can do about Dimitri, unfortunately. So, what do we do now?
I know a guy who can get us passports. We could start in Mexico. See how it goes.
I don't have any better ideas. Guess we should pack our bags.
But do you know what this means? We would have to assume false identities. You would leave behind all your friends and family. What about your career, your fans, everything you have built here?
Actually, I'm starting to question my career choices. I could use a break from all that anyway.
Jenna, you saved my life.
I saved both our lives technically, so it wasn't all that noble. Looks at Dimitri, disgusted. Oh God, let's get out of here. That's end of the play.
Yay, good job, Madeline. That was so much drama in there. I could see a lot of comments like throughout because people were like wondering what's gonna happen. Chitra says, will Dimitri kill himself? What's going on? Shruti says, no. Ivan sounds like too good to be true kind of boyfriend. Amanda says, I love it, Madeline. Political, satirical, and hilarious. A new version of Bonnie and Clyde. I would love to see Madeline play Jenna on stage in real life. Really fun. I mean, I love the stage directions you've written. Like, it shows, I could visualize that. The setting itself, that was pretty cool. Jackie says, I love the twist on life after reality TV. Really fun comments. Does anyone here on the Zoom call have anything to share?
I just thought it was hilarious. Like, I laughed out loud at several lines. I think I like that, like, she's like a really smart character, and that she's kind of like, it felt, I mean, I don't know if you intended this, but it felt like she was kind of questioning whether or not she actually like like trusted this guy, or like she started thinking beyond what he was thinking of. Like it was really fun to see him be a character where he's a spy, but he's kind of a little bit dense about reality and isn't like taking things too serious and just wants to be domestic. And she's a heroine who's discovering things within herself, but she's also kind of realizing that she's taking on more responsibility and is kind of a little bit sarcastic. Like she's not ignorant of that and is kind of like a little bit sarcastic and questioning about that too, which I thought that was very refreshing.
Yeah. Thank you, Erin. I thought it was hilarious in parts, and the way you've used sarcasm is amazing in this play. If there are no more comments,
this mother here. I really loved I'm actually excited for a part 2 of this. Like, I was thinking that Jenna goes all rogue now. Like, she goes to Mexico and becomes a drug cartel boss or something like that. Like, she's discovered her true passion after killing someone.
That is the direction that it could go.
Yeah,
but then I love.
We want or episode 2 to come soon.
Yeah, I really loved how it ended. So yeah.
I really like the contrast here, and I talked about this earlier too in one of the sessions. It's really cool to see that someone who wanted to be famous and be known by many people, all of a sudden at the end has to assume anonymity and has to be known by no one now. So I liked how circumstances and the plot changes now what she needs to do. So that was very cool to see going through this.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it's an awesome storyline, I should say, and the way in which it's presented, the transition of a character. Oh my God, how Jenna's character kind of changed from how it was while introduced in the first scene at the was it a beach scene, and if you take it all the way, it's a typical Bollywood movie. If it scripts gets to any of the Bollywood director, they are going to make a movie. And I'm already seeing some of these, visualizing some scenes and Divya's choreographed dances in our next minute. So this is an awesome plot. Beautiful story, fantastic story with many subplots, and all the time keeping the audience on the edge. Let it be a beach scene, a hotel room scene where they're trying to disclose about each other. Then there is kind of people sitting there, oh my God, what she's going to say, what he's going to say when they reveal their things. And then when they come to the final say, it's throughout till the end, people are on edge. The audience are on the edge.
I agree.
Awesome story.
Amanda says, good girl gone bad. And Jackie says, my favorite comment was about Ivan not having an Instagram. Like, seriously, who does that? Yep. Anyway, let's move on. Thank you, Madeline. Let's move on to our next story scriptwriter, the playwright Gautam Gobi, and his story is titled Choco Lava Cake. And the characters or performers, Alex is playing Sherman, Madeline is playing Alfreda, Madhu is playing Chuck, Lakshmi is playing Ava, Harini is playing the waitress, Harini is also playing cop 1 and 2, and Harini is also reading the stage directions. Over to you guys.
Choco Lava Cake. Characters: Sherman Bond, late 30s male, private detective, overconfident about his deduction skills, talks long sentences with a sense of pride, trying to prove he's smart. Alfreda Watson, late 20s female, Sherman's assistant, knows she's good at deduction, but keeps it casual, always casual. Takes life as it comes.
Harini, the next sentence is for Ava. That's a mistake, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Charles Law, or Chuck, late 30s male, Sherman's high school friend, mediocre attorney, not really passionate about anything, talks with a drawl, kind of inspired by Stanley from The Office. Ava Law, late 30s female, doctor, Charles Law's wife, passionate and confident. She's a go-getter, talks to the point in a strict matter-of-fact tone. Waitress, college girl working at a cafe, no specifics. 2 cops, no specifics. Scene, Sherman's office, afternoon. It is a small, newly rented office space with room for just 4 people. Alfreda is working on her computer in a corner desk. Sherman is also on his computer that is on the only table in the office. Both of them look really serious and are waiting for something to happen on the computer.
You're muted.
Alex, you're on mute.
Oh, thank you. Do clickety clack, loading, loading, loading.
Clickety clack, clickety.
Don't sing my song.
Sorry, Mr. Sherman.
Here is a deduction lesson for you. I knew you would repeat my song. You know how? Observation, dear Watson. I know the songs you listen to. I deduced if I sang the notes in an order that matched your sense of rhythm, you will repeat it.
Or maybe I was just bored.
Clickety clack, clickety clack. What the clack?
What the clack?
Sherman and Alfreda look at each other.
You go first.
We can't track the drug lord anymore. His phone got switched off.
What about the person he was talking to yesterday? The one he gave his password to while we were tapping his phone?
We just know it's a female from the voice. We couldn't find her or place a tracker on her.
Let me look at your computer. Walks to Alfreda's desk. This was the last place the tracking stopped today. That's his attorney's house.
Yep, but we can't prove anything. 1, we don't have a permit to do this tracking. 2, he disappeared there and that's it. It doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't matter if I don't have a permit. If I can prove this drug lord guilty with strong evidence, we can shut down an entire drug network.
Okay, so what? We go talk to his attorney?
Yes, Charles Law. We called him Chuck. We went to high school together. He might help us for old time's sakes.
Mr. Sherman, you underestimate lawyers. May I suggest something? How about we offer your friend Chuck a reward if he outs his client?
I only have $100. I need it for my books and knowledge, and to publish a book I've been writing for others' knowledge.
Not your money, Mr. Sherman. When we were tapping the drug lord's phone, we did hear him say that he has a secret account with all his earnings and he gave the password to the lady.
Yes. He also said he uses his fingerprints along with the password. My memory is infallible. I remember his password as well. It is happily ever after with the @ sign instead of A's.
Cool. That's not the point. If your friend helps us find it and convict the drug lord, we can use the password and his fingertips to get the money. Give some of it as a reward.
Good strategy, Watson. But you underestimate my powers of deduction. Let me start with talking to my friend, and I'll be able to gather enough information soon.
Okay, if you think so. By the way, what were you clacking about earlier?
Oh, the book I've been writing did not get accepted by the publisher. The email said I lacked original content.
Sorry, Mr. Sherman.
I'll find out the story, dear Watson. Now, let's find this drug lord. Off to Chuck's house we go.
Start packing laptops in their bags, picking up their jackets, and walking out of the office while having this conversation.
Should I call him and inform we are coming?
Let's surprise him. Oh, I know this awesome cafe on the way. Let's stop by before we go knocking.
Exit office with bags. End of scene. Next scene, Chuck and Ava's home, evening. Ava is in the kitchen looking into the fridge. Chuck walks in frustrated, takes off his coat, loosens tie, and drops his briefcase down. Sits on the couch with a deep sigh and takes off his glasses. Ava closes the fridge and turns around.
We are screwed. I might have to file for a bankruptcy.
No updates about the drug lord, I assume?
A few of his drug mules were arrested recently. He probably left the country.
Hope you can access his secret stash.
There is a reason it's a secret, Ava. A very few people know about it. It's encrypted and we need his fingerprints and a password to access it. Wait, how do you know about it?
That's Drug Lord Money Management 101. I made a random guess. It's okay. You will find other clients. Would you like some water?
I need cake. The choco lava one I bought yesterday. Chuck gets up from his couch, wears his glasses, and walks towards the fridge.
Blocking him. No.
I crave sugar when I'm stressed. Cake calms me. That's a proven fact, Your Honor.
List what you ingested since this morning.
The usual. 1 large mocha on my way to work, 2 donuts during break time, soda after lunch, and then some chocolates at my desk.
Be honest with your doctor.
Maybe a banana split after lunch. Do you need evidence, Your Honor?
That is well above your daily sugar limit already. Are you here to help me in the kitchen? Eva continues blocking him from the fridge and starts cooking something.
Maybe after I eat the cake?
No, Chuck. I understand you are stressed about your law firm losing its only client, but you should also learn to deal with this in a healthy manner.
Look, honey, I'm really craving this. I can't just stop on a fine day. I got to do this gradually. So how about I eat a small, teeny, weeny slice of the cake?
Eva handing him an avocado. If you really want to eat something, how about this avocado instead? It's healthy at least.
Anger and frustration slowly builds up. But it's the complete opposite of a choco lava cake. Soft outside and hard inside, just like you. And excuse me for trying to eat a cake that I bought with my own money.
I'm only talking about your health. Don't bring illegal drug money into this.
Oh, you mean the same money I shelled out to help set up your clinic?
Chuck, I am stopping you because you are at risk of getting diabetes. And you are making this about money? Sometimes I wonder if you value money more than our relationship.
Hey, it's not like that, honey. Okay, don't start crying now.
I am really upset right now. Please leave me alone for some time.
That escalated quickly. It's just a piece of cake. Come on, you're not really mad. Come on, be honest with your lawyer.
Just leave me alone. You can have your cake from somewhere else. Just don't ruin your health in front of me. Please leave. I need to finish cooking and relax for a bit.
Jeez. Okay, I'm leaving. Sorry if I said something that is making you overreact.
Leave.
I don't know where my client is. I don't know where his secret money is. But at least I know where I can get a good cake.
Slams the door shut behind him. The next scene, in a cafe moments later. Chuck is sitting at a table in the restaurant. There is another table behind him where Sherman and Alfreda are seated. A waitress is taking Chuck's orders. Waitress, just a chocolate cake? Someone just ordered the last cake. We are making a fresh batch. It's going to take a few minutes. Is that okay?
Yes, I'll wait. Thanks.
Waitress takes the menu and leaves. Sherman starts talking.
My deduction is the missus is mad. You're out of clients. She boots you out, and you're here now ordering just a cake to save money. Lucky for us, we were just heading to your place after a little break here to see you, Chuck. Or should I say the mastermind behind the drug lord's disappearance?
Hello, Sherman. Still making bad deductions, huh?
Sherman gets up and walks to Chuck's table and seats himself in front of him. Alfreda follows him and sits next to him.
You heard my deduction. Now, spill the beans.
Alfreda takes out a recorder and switches it on.
Recording.
What? My wife needed some space, so I'm out here getting cake. It's got nothing to do with saving money.
Mr. Sherman wants to know where you're keeping the drug lord.
What? I don't know where he is. I don't have to tell you anything. I'm still sitting here because Sherman and I are buddies from school. I heard you have started a private practice. Congrats, man. Never knew you make a great detective. You would make a great detective with your proficiency in solving puzzles.
So you don't know anything about your only client's disappearance? Hard to believe.
Of course, he's going to refuse, Mr. Sherman. I told you we should have started with my strategy.
How about you try then?
Mr. Charles Law, we've been tracking the drug lord's phone ever since the cops arrested his drug mules. We have some information we can use to arrest you. We are giving you a chance to explain yourself before we do that.
Waitress comes to the table and places a choco lava cake and leaves.
Point to the waitress walking away. She has an abusive boyfriend and she uses drugs. You know how I know that? Deduction, my friend. There are nail marks on her right wrist and neck, dark circles under her eyes, and she moves at a slower pace than what her age and demography should. Nothing escapes me. You are still not arrested because we went to school together. Now, confess.
You don't scare me. How do we know your deductions about the waitress are true?
I'll go ask her. Watson, keep an eye on him. Gets up and walks to the waitress.
He's still the same idiot I knew from school. Hey, that's my cake.
I had ordered it earlier. She was just heating it up and forgot. I saw her studying for her exams next week behind the counter. He usually deduces wrong.
I'm guessing you are his assistant. Why do you still work for him?
Sherman goes to the counter and talks to the waitress.
If you don't mind me asking, miss, have you been getting enough sleep lately?
Yeah, I've been preparing for my exams all night. Can I get you something? Parallel conversation between Alfreda and Chuck.
He got lucky with the last few cases and became famous. He now has his own private practice. I was an intern and he asked for me to be his assistant because my name is Alfreda Watson. He pays well, so I just stayed. I need the extra money for my family.
Huh?
Oh, he considers his name Sherman is a combination of two of his favorite detectives, Sher from Sherlock and Man from Batman, his two favorite detectives.
So he needed an assistant named Alfred or Watson. And you are Alfreda Watson? Wow, he's still ridiculous after all these years.
I don't mind. Makes my job fun.
What do you think about the nail marks on her that he mentioned?
Back to Sherman and the waitress. What? You think I'm taking drugs? That's nonsense.
Stop acting, lady. I also know you have an abusive boyfriend. I noticed the nail marks.
Both Alfreda and the waitress at the same time. It's from a cat. That's enough, sir. Please go to your seat or I may have to call the manager.
I saw her mobile wallpaper. It was her holding a cat.
You should be the lead detective, not him.
Sherman walks back to the table.
I was mostly right.
Doesn't matter. I'm not telling you anything. You are not good at this. Did you know that? At least I know I'm a bad lawyer.
Evident why the drug lord wanted to evade your mediocrity.
Listen, Mr. Charles, we've tracked the drug lord enough to know he frequently visited you at home. We need to know details about his drug network to close it down. His drugs are affecting a lot of kids. Please tell us anything you know. Your client is not a good man. Don't try to protect him.
If you can track him, why don't you find him and ask him yourself? Why bother me?
Because his mobile got switched off last when he was near your house. That's exactly when he went missing. None of our surveillance shows him leaving the country. You are our last link.
And we also believe you would know about his secret stash.
What? How do you know about a secret stash?
We did not. Now we have proof. Excellent job, Watson.
God, this is unbelievable. I think I'll leave now.
Chuck takes his jacket and is almost ready to get up and leave. Waitress comes to the table with Chuck's cake. Enjoy.
Maybe Chuck sits back and leaves the jacket back on the chair. Maybe after I eat my cake.
Sherman takes the cake away from him.
We know the drug lord has his secret stash in a secure account, and you need a password and his fingerprints to access it. We heard him tell his password to someone when he tracked his phone. Maybe, if you happen to know where he is, we could help each other.
This sounds interesting. You should have started with this.
Alfreda and Sherman look at each other and nod their heads in agreement.
We give you his password. You give us the drug lord. With his mobile, fingerprints, and password, we can transfer a reward to you from his secret stash.
Ah, I see. You assumed I have him kidnapped and tortured to get his password. He has a lot of other enemies. Go investigate them. Or find this other person who he gave his password to that you overheard. Now give me my cake.
Sherman still has the cake, and he takes it further away from him.
Not so soon, my friend. His mobile was last tracked near your house, and he is a dangerous drug dealer. We have his drug mules arrested, and they are being interrogated as we speak. We have enough evidence to believe you're involved. I am arresting you now.
Sherman takes out a handcuff and immediately puts them on Chuck.
Hey, what evidence? You can't do this. Show me a warrant.
Something beeps in Alfreda's bag.
It's my tracker notification. The drug lord's mobile phone is switched on again.
Quick, where is he?
Alfreda takes her tracking device out of her bag.
At Mr. Charles's house, of course.
That's impossible. I don't have him.
You stay here, mister. I'll inform the police to go find him.
No, he's not dumb enough to walk to my home, where you guys would definitely be waiting. It could be someone else trying to find me, maybe one of his enemies.
I think he might be right. Why would the drug lord show up at his place when he knows he's being searched for?
Please, Herman, you can arrest me, but take me home first. Ava is home alone. I want to make sure she's okay.
The police will be there soon.
We are closer to my place than the police. Take me, please, for old time's sake.
Sherman thinks and nods his head. They leave the cake on the table and run out of the restaurant. End of the scene. Next scene, home immediately after. Chuck, Sherman, and Alfreda rush into the house. Ava is in the living room and she is shocked. Chuck sees that Ava has a travel bag in her hand and dressed up to leave the house.
Ava, thank God you're okay.
Quick, Watson, search the place.
Sherman and Alfreda start searching different rooms while also keeping an eye on Chuck. Ava hugs Chuck and starts talking. Chuck is still in handcuffs.
I'm not okay, Chuck. What's happening? Who are these people?
It's about the drug lord. They think I have kidnapped him to get to his secret account.
All the more reason I should leave you then.
What? You're leaving me?
Yes, Chuck. There have been a lot of moments when you have made me feel unimportant. I need some time and space to think about all of this.
I have always treated you well. Please, let's talk it out.
We can't talk now anyways. Looks like you are in deep trouble. Don't worry. I'll not abandon you, dear. I'll help you out of this, but now I need to go.
Sherman comes back to Chuck and Ava.
Now, where do you think you're going, Mrs. Chuck? You can't leave before we investigate you.
It's okay, Sherman. Let her go. I'll tell you what I know. She has no part in this.
Alfreda comes back to them too.
I can't find him anywhere.
Check your tracker again. Turns to Ava. And you, ma'am?
You have no right to keep me here. I am leaving. Good luck, Chuck.
Wait, his phone is switched off again. But I have a message here about the interrogation from our police contact. The drug mules confessed that they were operated on at your clinic.
Chuck, you pathetic soul.
What? No, may I have a word? You two, don't move. The cops are on their way.
Alfreda takes Sherman aside. Chuck and Ava start talking between themselves too.
Boss, don't you see? Ava is the mastermind here.
Missed my observation. Doesn't seem elementary, dear Watson.
Conversation cut to Chuck and Ava.
Right under my nose? I can't believe it. Tell me the truth. Never knew you were involved in this drug network.
Why do you think the drug lord gave me the money, your money for the clinic, and was your only client?
Conversation cut to Sherman and Alfreda.
Even though Mr. Charles owns the clinic, it's Miss Ava who runs it.
Huh. And the person we overheard getting the drug lord's password was a female.
Conversation back to Chuck and Ava.
So you kidnapped him to access a secret stash?
You could say that. Listen, we can still get out of this. Keep your mouth shut. I'll handle this.
Conversation cut to Sherman and Alfreda.
Come, let's ask them about it right now.
I'll switch on my recorder. Make them talk. We still need solid evidence. She is clever.
Conversation cut to Chuck and Ava.
Where do you have him now?
Shh. Later. They're coming.
Sherman and Alfreda walk to Chuck and Ava.
Spill the beans, you two. We know you have him.
Do you have a warrant to search the house or interrogate us? Or to have my husband in handcuffs?
We have probable cause. We tracked the drug lord's phone. It last turned off here.
Interesting. I did not know you had authorization to do that. You have searched the house and found him nowhere. We need you to leave the house. You can talk to our lawyer.
Is that me?
Temporarily.
The drug mills confessed they were operated at your clinic.
Could be any of my other doctors. I'll personally find out who was responsible and hand them over. I still don't see a warrant though.
Mr. Sherman, what now?
Let's leave. We'll find another way.
Alfreda is still reluctant to leave. Sherman goes to Chuck and takes off the handcuffs. Chuck is relieved and walks to the kitchen. Ava is still focused on Alfreda and Sherman.
Mr. Sherman, we can't give up so easily.
Maybe it's time for me to say the cops are on their way. You had no right to be here, and yet you have intruded our privacy, which is unacceptable. I am planning on pressing charges on both of you. How dare you arrest my husband without a warrant?
Chuck reaches the fridge.
My wife and her lawyer are going to show you hell. Finally, my cake.
Chuck opens the fridge.
No, not the fridge.
A body falls out of the fridge, dead and cold. Everyone is shocked.
Is that?
The drug lord?
You idiot.
You, ma'am, and sir, are under arrest.
It was you he gave the password to, and you killed him to keep all the money to yourself?
Sherman handcuffs Ava and walks to Chuck and handcuffs him. The police finally reach and enter the house. 2 cops come in. Sherman shows them the body and they start clearing the area.
I'm still not saying anything. I'd like to talk to my attorney, please.
Chuck and Sherman move away from the fridge and come to Ava.
I'm sorry, honey. They just noticed a dead body in the middle of our house. You have your bags packed, ready to leave.
He's not my lawyer. I'll find my own.
I'm just incredibly mad you did not tell me anything.
Sherman offers him the cake from the fridge.
Cake?
I have lost my appetite. The body was right next to it.
Thanks, Sherman. We'll take it from here.
I can't believe I'm getting arrested because of an idiot I went to school with.
Cop 1 takes Ava and Chuck out of the house. Cop 2 says, "Awesome work, guys. We'll need a report of your investigation. Let's talk about it at the office."
Yes, officer. I would like to inform you it was all Alfreda.
What, Mr. Sherman?
It's okay, Watson. I know what I'm doing. She'll lead this case, officer.
Cop 2 nods and walks out. Cop 2, the forensics team will be here. You guys clear this place soon, please. Alfreda and Sherman start walking out.
Mr. Sherman, your friend Charles was just saying that because he's mad. You're not an idiot.
You're funny, Watson. I know I'm not. You lead the case and take care of the paperwork. I need my time to write my book. I have original content now.
Oh.
I'm going to call it the Choco Lava Cake. End scene.
Yay! Okay, I have so many comments which are basically laughing emojis, like hysterical laughing emojis. Great work, Gautam. That was really cool. Love the names, the comedy. It was just super hilarious. Amanda says, "Good luck, Chuck." Oh, I also love the what the clack. That was funny. Shruti says, "I guessed it was Ava, but I wasn't sure." Good one. I think there was a lot of laughter when the body fell out of the refrigerator. That was hilarious. Amanda says, "I love the dynamic between Alfreda and Sherman. All the readers were cast very well too. Good job on casting." Yeah, Jackie says, "Cake calms me too."
Yeah.
Some theme about cake and you, right? It was a theme about Boo Boo as well.
It's funny.
Yep.
Anyway, is there any other comments or thoughts from people on the call?
Yeah, it was funny, definitely, but it took some time to establish. Initially, it was kind of felt that little bit of a extended conversations, because even when we moved from one scene to another, that's where but as really picked up. And yeah, and then especially the comedy and some kind of a thriller combination of both, it really ended very well. I would say if it is split into two halves, the second half is really made not only comical, interesting, and little bit of it's a bit of little bit of thrilling, but maybe in something can be done initially to hold the audience, because it kind of took too much of a conversation in both the scenes. But overall, it is pretty good, pretty great work.
Thank you, Ashi.
Thank you, Narsi. I also like the dual scenes, like simultaneous conversations. Love the stage directions as well. Anyone else?
Yeah, I really kind of like seeing the earlier drafts to here is really fun because I think earlier we were like, well, what's the connection between the cake and the drug lord? And so like the body falling out of the refrigerator was, it really connected like why she was like nagging him so much about not eating the cake. And it was quite shocking. So that was great.
I sort of wanted to hear a little more about Alfreda's backstory. I mean, I agree with Narcy like about like setting up stakes a little sooner maybe, but like I was really intrigued by like, I don't know, like where she's like, I know it was mentioned why she was doing what she was doing, but like I was just curious about that character and wanted to dig into her a little bit more. But really fun.
Yeah, I mean that's great suggestion. That is that they're trying to put something into her character and they're trying to come out with something could really make the first half interesting too.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. I think we can move on to our next storyteller. With this, the next playwright is Lakshmi Rajaram, and her play is titled Her Father's Daughter. And the characters and performers are Harini is playing Samina, Madeline is playing girlfriend 1, girlfriend 2, Gautam is playing Mohit, Amit, Ravi, Alex is playing Sid, and Madhu is doing the stage directions. Over to you guys.
Give me 1 second. I'll just get started. Her Father's Daughter by Lakshmi Rajaram. Characters: Samina, 13-year-old, spiritedly athletic 7th grader, sassy, smart, and confident. Girlfriend 1 is a 7th grade student. Girlfriend 2, 7th grade student. Mohit, 14-year-old popular school champ, well-built, handsome, cricket team captain, bossy, full of himself. Wicketkeeper Amit, 8th grade student, chubby, with a pleasant disposition, has kind eyes. Ravi, an 8th grade student. Umpire, assistant physical trainer overseeing the game, athletic, lean. Sid, commentator, 8th grade student, bubbly, enthusiastic, has a slight crush for Samina, idealizes Mohit, good in PR, and knows all the gossip from the school. Spectacled. Scene 1. School playground midday. Large school playground with boys playing miming cricket. One end is a small commentator's tent with a table and chair beneath it. An enthusiastic commentator narrates ball by ball sequence of events, while few girls play jump rope off stage on the other end. Gender division is evident. Samina and her two girlfriends are on one end of the playground participating in neither activity. One of the girlfriends sharing something from a celebrity magazine to the other, while Samina is uh, intently observing the boys playing cricket. Cut to the cricket field.
And Mohit cuts for a beautiful square cow drive all the way to the boundary for a 4. This is his signature shot. Didn't expect anything less from such a great player and 2-time champ.
Cut to Samina and her girlfriends.
Samna watching the game intently and smirking a bit. I'm going over there. I'd like to try my spin on this Mohit guy and see how that works out for him.
Wait, what? You cannot be serious, Samna. Playing cricket with boys?
Why not? I'm good at it and I want to. Moreover, I've played cricket all my life. You both should too, you know.
No, never. Look, you are from the army and all. I mean, your dad is. So in your book, this might be okay. But here, nah. Moreover, you just transferred. You don't know the rules.
There are no rules. I already checked. All is needed is the will to play.
Hello. You're talking about playing with the boys. Those guys over there. Have you lost it? Mad you are. Totally mad. They will chew you up. You're better off.
What? Sit around here moping, gossiping, playing jump rope? That's not me. And what's wrong with playing cricket with the boys? Being in the army, my dad taught me to be tough, and playing with my cousins taught me a thing or two about cricket. Wait till they see my spin. I'm going over. Are you in or out?
Out. Don't say we didn't warn you. She'll be in tears in no time. Let's go tell the others. This should be fun to watch.
Girlfriends exit the stage but are watching from off stage. Samna starts to walk over towards the commentator tent where Mohit is taking a drink break. Cut to commentator.
After 3 overs, the score is 22-1. Mohit continues to be on strike. Great job, Mohit. You are awesome, as usual, facing the field. The new over begins with, wait a minute. What's happening here? There appears to be someone. Samna is walking up here. Mohit, Samna is coming here. Why am I talking out loud? Be cool, Sid, be cool.
Cut to Samna.
I'd like to join in.
Mohit, unfazed, takes a gulp of water, sizes her up, laughs out loud. Join in for?
Commentator Sid looks perplexed from Samna to Mohit. His expressions keep intensifying with the advancing conversation.
I'm interested in playing. I'm a decent spin bowler. I want to join the team.
Who are you? And what do you think this is? This isn't book cricket. There, over there in the corner, is the jump rope. Clear the field now. We are in the middle of a real game.
And he walks onto the field. Sid is almost beside himself with shock. He's standing now, leaning over the table to understand and overhear what is going on. He's the one gulping water now.
Haha, not funny. It's Samna, by the way, and as I said, I'm a spinner. Watch me bowl an over and then decide? What? Too chicken? Afraid you might lose to a girl?
Mohit, with his bruised ego, looks over his shoulder at his team, tauntingly agrees. to Samna. You asked for it. Let's see what you've got.
Tosses at the ball. Sorry.
To the others and said, guys, this Samna here says she's a bowler. Let's see what she's got, shall we? I'll take the crease. To the wicketkeeper, Amit. This should be good. How long do you think she will last, huh? 10 says I hit a 4 on the first ball. They bump
fists on it. Cut to commentator.
Okay. What should I say here? Okay. Guys, we have a new player bowling this over, Samna Singla, a recent transfer student. She's getting ready to bowl this next over. We see her take a short run up to counter steps and then, oh, she's giving her arm a bit of a stretch. Nice.
The boys, players, find all of it very entertaining. They look at each other and share a laugh.
Samna steps around the umpire to bowl her first ball. Wow, a leg spin, but it's very wide off the pitch. Very wide. Almost like a stray ball. Amit attempts to dive, but does not even come close to getting a finger on it. And the ball heads straight for the boundary for 4 runs.
The boys have a hearty laugh. Mohit and the wicketkeeper bump their fists while chuckling. He thrusts $10 into his pocket.
Samna is focused. This was just her first ball. Also, this is Mohit we're talking about. He isn't going easy on her.
Cut to Mohit.
Mohit to wicketkeeper. Serves her right. Glances towards Samna, then turns to the wicketkeeper. 20 on the next, and this one, I'm going over the top. Wicketkeeper, Amit. Deal. They bump fists on it.
Cut to commentator Sid.
Here we go with the next ball. Samna bowls another leg spin, this time short. Mohit rushes down the pitch and lifts it with ease over mid-cover and across the ropes for a 6. Mohit is on fire. What a shot. 10 runs already from the first 2 balls, taking the total to 32.
Samna stares at him intently. She's upset with herself. Mohit is enjoying this even more and returns her stare with a smug, watch me kind of look. The boys are ganging up, mocking and making jokes. The girls watch from afar. The self-inflicted mockery that Samna has brought upon herself.
Was she right on taking on the 2-time man of the match best batsman? This isn't going so well for her, is it?
Samna is not deterred. She gives herself a pep talk under her breath, takes a few deep breaths, and is ready to bowl again.
Here comes the next ball. This time she switches it up. And oh, was that a googly? Mohit completely misreads it. And before he could take corrective action, the ball swings between the bat and the pad and takes off the middle strip. Mohit is out. Out. Unbelievable.
Too shocked and slumps back to his chair. The umpire raises his index finger to signal out. Samna is ecstatic. She pumps her fist in the air and smirks towards Mohit. Mohit is stunned, glued to his spot, unsure and unwilling to accept what just happened. He looks towards the wicketkeeper for some reassurance, but the wicketkeeper only shrugs his shoulders. Sid almost falls off his chair with shock.
Umpire.
Mohit, you're out. Move. Ravi, get on the crease. Well bowled, Samna, well bowled.
One-time fluke. She got lucky.
I heard you.
How could she get his middle stump? Was that really a fluke? Samna bowls her next ball. Another leg spin. Ravi's barely settled at the crease. He tries to hit it hard out, but the ball spins and lifts the bails off the leg stump. Duck out. No way. This is unbelievable. Samna strikes again. She got 2 wickets in a row. Mohit and Ravi unable to play her spin. This is really happening, guys. Wow.
Samna jumps with joy.
Oh, do we have a game on our hands today? Samna's spin is throwing our best players off. She completes her over for 10 runs and 2 wickets. Not bad at all.
Wicketkeeper and Samna nod at each other and bump fists together as they cross the crease to the other end.
Ravi, damn, she's good.
Mohit stares towards Samna. End of play.
Yay, that was awesome. Good job, Lakshmi, right?
Thank you.
That was really cool. Let's see what we have. Anyone on Zoom? Any comments?
Yeah, it was kind of it's fun. It was fun throughout, and I mean, it definitely, the way in which it was proceeding, it was holding the audience together for sure, no doubt about it. Yeah. Overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was very engaging.
Thank you, Narsi. Erin, any thoughts? Or anyone else here can comment too.
Yeah, I guess I was also curious about the main character's backstory again. Like, it was like we kind of touched on like the fact that she's new and where she's come from with her background in army life with her dad and her cousins. But I wasn't quite sure like where, like what she was trying to gain out of the challenge of playing with the boys. So I think it could have been fun to like delve a little bit more into like her like intentions or like where, I don't know, that's sort of my thought. Would be kind of fun to spend more time on where she's come from or what she's struggling with through this game. But it was, yeah, otherwise it was fun, and it was definitely a good story to like a good underdog type story.
Thanks, Erin. I think there is opportunity to expand on that backstory now. I think I'm more interested to know like her relationship with her father, how like he like influences her.
Yeah, Divya, this was just scene 1. This is not the whole
yeah.
thing. So this
No,
was
I totally get it.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So I'm interested to know that. I want to know the full story now.
Yeah, because in the workshop I had heard the story, like that is why some of the Erin's questions, it did not come to me because I had the background of her character.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Workshop. But in the word, like to Lakshmi's point, yes, it is just a scene 1 with couple of scenes when the character ties up. Erin's questions will all get answers on that.
Yeah, I can totally see this to be a really like emotional, like heavy story. So it's going to play out really nicely on stage if I can already like visualize that one.
You're spot on. This is emotional if you look at the whole story.
Yeah.
Is this the first scene or the last scene?
This is
the first scene, Erin. This
cool.
just introduces Samna's bold, courageous. Actually, the word.
Oh, yeah.
So I picked her name, Samna. Samna in Hindi means facing something head on with courage.
Yeah.
So the story is all about. It's kind of like, as you said, it is an underdog story, but it's about her facing her challenges in life and how she overcomes those challenges head on. So this is just scene 1 to introduce her character a little bit.
Gotcha. Then that makes sense then to not have like set it up so much, but sort of let this be what it is and then explore more afterwards. Super cool.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, I like. Sorry.
No, good.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on the progress, Lakshmi. Previous reads, most of the scenes were not from a commentator perspective. They were mostly stage direction. I like how you have added a commentator, and that adds more dimension and makes it easier to understand for a stage play. That was really
Thank you, Gautam. This commentator idea came from our last review that we did in the workshop, and that was a great suggestion. And actually, when I was rewriting it, Alex, the commentator was my most colorful personality. And I really enjoyed writing this character, Sid. I mean, I have this visual in my mind, like such a funny character Sid is.
Yeah. And I think Alex did a great job like narrating it too. That was pretty fun.
Yeah. So actually, I was thinking the same, like, the it is almost like it's the perspective of the commentator throughout, and that would be a really cool way, even though the protagonist was Samna, whose name I'm sorry I butchered initially. But yeah, uh, it was really cool to see it from a perspective of a third person who's, and I think it would be cool to see the entire play. Like, we have seen movies in wherein there is a essentially a commentator who's like guiding he's a character, but then he's probably not the protagonist. So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, thanks, Madhu. And the commentator has a slight crush on Samna, so that kind of is
Yeah.
playing into that whole commentary as well.
Yeah. That's fun. All right, I think we can move on to our last play. This is written by Harini Shekhar, and it's titled Match Made in Heaven. The characters are Gautam is playing Natesh, Madhu is playing Natesh's father, Alex is playing Sumant and Guard, Madeline is playing Sumant's father, and Lakshmi is playing Natesh's mother and also doing stage directions. Over to you.
One sec, guys. Match Made in Heaven by playwright Harini Shekhar. Cast of characters: Natesh's father, aging 70-year-old man with weak physique. Natesh, 25-year-old young man, well-built, good-looking, tall. Natesh's mother, 60-year-old tall woman with lean physique in sari. Sumant, 27-year-old man with green eyes, well-built, good-looking. Guard 1, well-built, in uniform, tall. Sumant's father, 57-year-old man, short, rounded figure, narrow eyes, no beard or mustache. Act 1, Scene 1. A hospital room with a bed in the middle and 2 chairs towards one side of the wall, next to the door. There is a wide glass window by which Natesh's mother is arranging clothes into a bag. Natesh is seated in a chair next to his father, who is in the bed for patients. He has IV running. TV is on with news from BBC.
What do you know about hard work? It's all your mom's fault, always pampering you.
Do you think I want to do this? If there is one thing I wanted in my life, it is to never become you.
Oh, really? Then how about you just let me die in peace now and not spoil my reputation?
Ah,
All my life I have lived a man of respect and principles, and I will not let you take away that when I'm on my deathbed.
I see. So you're willing to die but not trust me with a job? Does your client mean so much more to you than Ma and I? It's not like they want me to kill.
Nurse, go ahead, sorry.
Nurse knocks the door and walks in to check on the patient. Natesh grunts his teeth. They just want me to discreetly investigate the groom.
Lifting his hand so nurse can check pulses. There again, investigation. For a moment there, I thought you were going to finally respect my job and take over from me, like a good son should.
This is your job. What are you even talking about?
Oh, please stop it. I don't go around poking into others' bedrooms in the name of private investigations. Ask your mom.
Do you really want to pull me into an argument between both of you?
Ignores Natesh's mother and turns towards Natesh.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
What I do is to be an honorable man and help two humans find their eternal bond between themselves. And I do that with my experience, wisdom, and blessings of forefathers, as taught in traditional matchmaking.
Natesh rolls his eyes in frustration. Stops it after seeing the nurse notice him and leave the room. Ma, can you please feed him some sense?
If sense can be cooked in my kitchen, I would have fed some to both of you long time ago. Don't even get me started.
What is wrong with both of you? Is this some kind of joke? I have already said yes to your client, Pa. I'm going to help privately investigate the guy their daughter has selected for herself. I will lay low for a couple of weeks, submit the report, and get the money. and then never step into your office again.
You will not touch my clients. Who gave you the permission to say yes to them? It's not like I'm dead yet. If only I can get out of this bed right now.
If only? How about if only you had a better job? If only you saved money? If only you were smart enough? If only I was not born into this poor middle class family, I wouldn't even have to do your job now.
That's enough.
Pa, I am asking you for the last time. Where is the key to your office? Do you want me to show up on their front door having no clue who they are? I need their history and I need it now. Look, this will be my first and last time doing this work, even if you wanted me to do it again. It's not like I can just let you die. What kind of son do you think I am? Come on.
Looks at Natesh's mother angrily and after a brief pause. First, tell me more about this job they have given you.
I already told you.
Do you need the key or not?
All right. I'm supposed to follow this guy their daughter has chosen to marry and find out everything about his daily life. Who he meets, where he goes, what he does. Anything and everything to be reported back every day through email.
Go on.
What? That's it. It's not a big deal. All I need to ensure is that no one sees me following him, like a detective.
Oh, like Sherlock Holmes?
Gives a cold stare at his wife and turns back to Natesh. Is this legal? Hello?
It is, if we own the license.
But we don't.
Yes, but...
Do you see why I am mad? Who needs to be fed sense now, huh?
Pa, I know all this. But this is the best way to get 500,000 rupees in 2 weeks' time.
He is right. Just saying.
One hand in his temple and eyes closed, deep in thoughts. All right.
All right, what?
I'm going to let you do this on one condition.
What?
That you will do this discreetly. No social media access for next 2 weeks. No talking to your friends. You're going to call every one of your useless friends and tell them you're going away on a vacation for the next couple of weeks. No one other than us and Sharma family should know about this. Can you do this?
Okay.
I will call Hemant and ask him to give you the key when you get to my office. Files are in my drawer right next to my desk.
Okay.
Do you need me to sing you a goodbye song or what? Get going.
Stage blackout, scene 2. Dimly lit room, Natesh is lying unconscious on the floor. The room is dusty and mostly empty. There are few huge packages stacked on top of each other. On the top of those packages, there is a small exhaust fan, the only ventilation to this room.
Natesh coughs and moves slightly on the floor. Hello? No response. Is anyone here? Hey! He moves close to what looks like a door and bangs it.
Shut up and sit back.
Hey! Who are you? Let me out!
Natesh moves around the room, checking everything and trying to figure out where he is. He searches for something throughout the room, unsuccessful. The door to this room opens suddenly and 2 people walk in.
Looks like someone had a good night's sleep.
Sumant? I knew you were too good to be true. Why did you kill that journalist? I know that guy. He works for SDTV.
Why were you following me?
I was not.
Oh yeah? Then why is your bag full of my whereabouts? I don't suppose you love me so much, huh?
Where is my bag, you murderer?
Answer me first.
I told you already, I was not following you.
Leads a boring life than Dad. What was that comment, by the way? Is it thrilling enough for you now?
Tell me where my bag and cell phone is.
Not until you tell me who sent you. Is it Dean Baba? Rocky Ranjan? Come on. Tell me. Who are you sending this information to?
Will you tell me why you killed that journalist?
Yes, maybe.
What are you going to do with me after I tell you?
Nothing.
Want me to believe that?
Do you have a choice? I'm sure you have taken a little tour around the room. It's not like you can jump your way out of this place.
I really need to report every day to my clients on your whereabouts. There is a lot at stake for me if I do not finish my job.
Which is?
And who would those clients be?
Sharma's.
Exchanges a mild, shocking look. Oh, sorry.
And how long have you been following me?
A week. Can I get my phone back now?
Not so fast, my friend.
Sumant and his father leave the room and door closes. Natesh hears the door lock. Stage blackout. Scene 3. Dim lit factory floor. Machines surrounded. Dusty floor. Natesh picks up his bag from a corner of the factory and moves slowly from one end of the large floor to the other end towards the shutter door. Natesh touches the handle of the door and the alarm goes off.
No, no, no!
Natesh is trying to run backwards in panic when 2 security guards come rushing into the scene from behind the factory. Natesh's back pressed against the front door. He is surrounded.
Don't kill me! Don't kill me! I was just trying to get back to my room.
Shut up and kneel down, gun pointed.
Let me go, please.
I thought you were smarter than this.
How dare you?
Hey, let me go. I need to get back today to pay for my father's surgery. He's going to die otherwise.
Oh, what a great son.
Dad, stop it.
Please, I swear I'll not tell a word about anything. I did not see you kill the journalist. I did not see anything that I'm not supposed to. I'm going to give a good report back to the Sharmas and go back to my family. None of this happened, okay?
You really think we are fools, don't you?
Please.
We will make sure your father gets his money for the surgery. Because if we silence you forever, Sharmas will pay us a lot of money to get their daughter married to Sumant.
Who are you? Why are you after them?
Tell him who we are, Dad. It doesn't matter, as he will be dead in few minutes.
We are not the bad guys here.
Yeah, right.
Manoj Baba, have you heard of him?
No.
You should thank us that he hasn't heard about you either, yet.
What does he has to do with the journalist and Sharmas?
We got into his gang by circumstances. 4 years ago, I had a... You know what? Forget it. It doesn't matter to you anyway.
Should I cry for your sob story now?
Our only way to get out of his group alive is to pay off the money we owe him. When we were desperately trying to find money, Ritu Sharma came to Sumant voluntarily, like a duck that lays golden eggs.
You haven't seen her, have you?
When we realized her background, we thought of the perfect plan to escape from this country.
Marry her, steal the money, and escape? What a perfect plan.
Everything was fine until a couple of jerks started ruining our plans.
A couple of jerks?
Of course, you are one of them, jerk.
The journalist had been following Manoj and found all his dirt. He somehow found out our escape plan and tried to blackmail us into helping him blow Manoj's empire.
Oh.
Yes, another fool like you. Too soon to go.
We did not intend to kill him either. It happened in a spur of the moment, but saved us a lot of work.
Yeah, that's when you ran into the mess and decided your own fate.
We hate to do this, you know.
You don't have to.
I don't blame you for trying to escape. After all, we understand the need for freedom more than anyone.
Natesh observing everything around him, still hoping to somehow escape.
It all has come down to one man's freedom versus another. And for generations, human beings have always prioritized their own survival first.
Natesh turning deaf, he notices the sawdust all across the floor.
Can you blame us for being human beings? Can you, Natesh?
Dad, enough. Let's get it done. I need to be a groom tomorrow morning. One more night, to live our dream.
Sumant lifts his gun to aim at Natesh, and just then Natesh jumps and grabs the cigarette from the guard and throws it towards the pile of sawdust. Sumant, who was distracted by the sudden movement, shoots aimlessly in a different direction. Before anyone inside realizes the grave danger they are in, Natesh opens the front door and runs outside to quickly shut the door behind him.
Natesh, phone ringing. Ma!
Beta, how are you? Where are you? I have been trying to...
Ma, I will come and tell you everything. Is Pa awake?
Hold on. Sound of the phone being passed on.
You got caught, didn't you?
Yes, but I'm okay.
Are you sure you're not going to get my office busted by cops?
No, I'm applying for license tomorrow.
I don't plan on doing this kind of stuff. Just get home first.
But I plan to join you as matchmaking private investigator.
You want to save me from my deathbed and slowly kill me forever?
Natesh bursts out laughing. If you talk to your Sharma friends, they might feel otherwise. I'm coming home, Pa.
Stage blackout, end of play.
Cool, yay, good job, Harini. Man, last scene was, there's so much drama and there's so much action involved. That was pretty awesome. Any thoughts from others?
This is
I had
just one comment, Harini. This has definitely also improved much and has taken more perfection and shape since our workshop last week. So good job on working more on this and adding more color to the scenes. So great. Good to
Thanks,
review.
Alex. A lot of good inputs from our sessions.
Amanda says, I'm looking forward to the TV series, Harini. Erin, you had something to share.
I had two things that I at first I had questions on, but now I think I may have just missed something. So I'm assuming that, like, are there other scenes between the first scene and the last scene we heard? Or are those the only two scenes?
So, I mean, ideally, this is also, again, like a novel-length story.
Okay.
But because of timing, we cut short to like 3 key scenes. So, for example, how Natesh escapes from the room that he was locked in is something that you wouldn't see in the scenes here, which would have been another scene by itself. So, yeah, definitely not the entire story, I would say.
Okay, I think that answered a few other questions I had. I think the only, because I had missed at first why he was doing it, like what the project was, that it was to save his dad. But now that's answered. I think the only other question I had, and again, maybe this is something that would have been answered in other scenes, was like, how was it that he was going to so easily like change professions after this one job? And I think that was partly where I was trying to understand, like, does he need the money to like get them settled and then he already has another profession, or the money will help him launch his next career or whatnot? But I think these all would have been answered if I had heard the other scenes. So all good.
Yeah, again, that's just more context. So this Natesh, who's the son, he was not happy about who his father was and the social status of their family. So he grew up hating what his father did. And that's why he never wanted to do anything. So that basically made him somebody who will not follow his father. He neither found something else on his own. So that's what the initial couple of dialogues, I would say, jumps right into it, which is kind of hard to understand all of this context in those like 3 sentences. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like it would have been cool to like open that with like the very first scene. Just needed to drop a few other hints on things.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that now. Yeah,
I mean, Arin's questions are really pretty good questions. Again, for me, I had the bigger picture. I had heard the synopsis. I could very easily connect. But if you really look from the audience standpoint, maybe you start the scene. First will be a tiny scene at his office, and then where his father is sitting, or they kind of have some conversation, and suddenly through phone or something like the other, some of the stage technique that the workshop we discussed in the workshop, that he's in the hospital, and then it kind of that kind of at least one scene is required so that audience could easily link it. And also another thing I wanted to tell about during the workshop, where finally Natesh ends up married to Sharma's daughter, right?
No, that's not part of my story.
That's not part. Maybe that is what I wanted to suggest at the end of the thing.
Okay.
And then kind of parallelly, in kind of two streams of thing going parallelly as he follows something. Sometimes he sees her, and then kind of some kind of other than the action, you could introduce some romance as well, so that it becomes a
I think Narsi wants a Bollywood movie out of everything.
no. Come on, these are entertainment package. I'm only seeing for what would be our play for next minute. So that's my whole goal. That's why I'm looking at all the plays so intently.
But I think all of us should remember that this is still a work in progress, and people that there's so much scope and to improve on this and build on top of this. Like Lakshmi said, that was just her first scene, and Harini tried to bring the whole story into this 10 minutes, but you can expand it a lot more. So I think all of you did a great job.
Awesome. In the heritage story, there's a scope for introducing a lot of singing and dancing. Pretty typical of a dancer.
See, again, Narsi just wants a Bollywood movie. Anyway, I think for some closing comments, I think I want to say that Alex, you've done a great job. But I saw there's so much Sherlock Holmes investigative feel to a lot of the stories that came out today. So I don't know if that was a theme, or I don't know what it was, but I think everybody had that suspense sort of thing that in most of their stories.
Alex spent a lot of time talking about how to kind of build conflict and then, dip, and then build conflict and dip. So that's, to create more suspenseful plots. So
I think you guys did a great job with that then. So I feel like this was a very successful workshop series.
Oh yeah, awesome. I mean, Alex, kudos to Alex, man. The way in which the creative ideas, it's great. I mean, people could everybody is to some extent they're creative and get ideas, but to put it in the technicalities. And if I have some ideas in there, but try to put it, I'll have no clue had I not attended this workshop. I mean, the way in which he introduced a little bit of very briefly providing a little bit of history, and then how kind of things come together, and how do you kind of keep the audience engaged, all those things. When he started explaining the technicalities of it, oh my god, I went back and started analyzing all the movies and started, oh my god, this is where the movie stories are written like this. And this is, I mean, if you some successful movies and some flop movies, if you compare, you could very easily say how technically how flaws were there in the flop movies and why a certain movie story is so successful. Kudos to Alex.
I want to hear from Alex a little bit, because I know he's a very technical writer, but he started off being a self-taught, playwright. And Alex, your journey from learning, teaching yourself, writing, and now to leading a workshop. I don't know how what you want to speak a little bit on that one.
Absolutely.
Because this is your first time teaching and leading.
Yeah. I can't be happier than this to lead the first workshop. This has been an amazing experience. First of all, I would say that all of you who attended the workshop did an amazing job, and it's evident in what we read today. So kudos to every one of you. And I know when we started, I said there are going to be assignments, and people were like, oh, assignments are going to be a little bit fearful, but I hope all of you enjoyed writing this, and I would say keep writing. That's the only way to get better, and that's also how I learn too. The only way to learn is to write and read it to others, and hear it read by others, and do workshops and stage plays to read it out and act it out and see how it works. So when I first started writing, I started writing the stories. It was a written story format, and then started writing plays. But when I started writing plays, I went for the words and the language. But then I soon came to know that yes, words and language means a lot. But more than that, there is a technique to it. There is a few styles of plays. That's why Shakespearean plays would look completely different from a modern musical or anything like that. So I started getting curious about why are plays different and what makes a play click in spite of this being so different. So that's where I started reading. Then I took few classes at Guthrie for writing. Also, what helped was also the acting workshops that I've done, because stage writing, you have to think about, and there's a lot of overlap between some of the acting workshop um, um,
Content and
and the writing, because the actors always ask some of the same question: what is my character's background, what is the future, what is the present? And writers have to answer that question, or if not, we'll have to help the actors answer those questions with some of those. So there's a lot of overlap about character study between acting and writing. And then I started writing it, and I'm part of some groups where we go and read. We do exactly this every other week, by the way. So right now there is a session going on which I'm missing, but I'll get onto it next session. So we are a group of writers that we just get together and read scene by. Sometimes it's a whole scene, sometimes it's a whole play, and the format is exactly this. We just come with something written, and we assign people on that day. We just say, oh, can you read this, can you read this? And we have a Slack forum, and everyone shares exactly the same forum. Everyone throws their document before the session starts, and we all pull up the Slack for that day and read, and we get feedback. So you get to learn a lot from other people's writing. Just like reading books, reading is the best way to write. So reading others' plays help you, right? So we can, and all this cohort can continue this. This doesn't have to be the end of this. So if we want to set a time and date and have a monthly touchback or anything like that to see how this plays have progressed, those are all ways that you can do to continue this. So I would say keep at it. This is a great start, but definitely not the end.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Thanks for sharing what you learned with the whole group. And I think everyone here learned something. And I hope the workshop was helpful, because we started off as a 3-week workshop, and then we added like a couple more sessions, because I think it was. And thanks everybody for coming together and presenting it so that more people can watch it, and it gives you a little more to like rework on your story and script. And maybe we can have another session of this read through to see like where this script goes and how much farther you can take, and maybe like enact it a little more with costumes and stuff. I think I have like super fun ideas for that. So anyway, thank you so much for and Jackie also says thanks everyone for sharing. Thanks everyone watching on YouTube. Thanks people on Zoom just giving comments. And hopefully we'll do this again.
Absolutely.
Good night, and
Good night.
see you all.
Right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Bye. Thanks, Divya.